So, my friends, I'm sure you've heard the story of the nice Jewish guy who's going around in circles because he's lost, but he insists not to ask for directions. A lot of people believe that's why Moses led the Jewish people in the desert for 40 years. You see, he simply didn't want to ask for directions. But we know it's much more than that. You see, Moses had a very unique object, and that was a very special GPS. This was a GPS that is referred to as the God positioning system. When the Jewish people traveled in the desert for 40 years, every time the clouds of glory stopped, they knew it's time to park. When the clouds of glory lifted up, they knew it's time to move on. And this is exactly the story of the 42 journeys the Jewish people experienced as listed in this week's Torah portion. They recognized that every twist and turn that they took during those years was because that's where God wants them to be. There's a very profound message here. Let me tell you something on a personal note. A little over a year ago when COVID started, I turned to a group of friends of mine, Bob, John, and Irv, and I said, you know, everybody's uncertain. No one knows where the world's going to go. What can we do to remind ourselves that God is the one who's taking us where he wants us to be? And for that reason, we started to delve into the 42 journeys because we recognized the teaching of the Hasidic masters that every single one of these 42 stops that the Jewish people did in the desert is relevant in our lives as well. And there's tremendous meaning and relevance in each one of those particular journeys that they experienced. So for the past year and a half, our small group have been meeting once a week to delve into the depth of these 42 journeys. And what you see behind me is just the title page of each one of these journeys, because we ended up discovering that there's so much knowledge and insight and inspiration from the Torah, 8 to 12 pages that we put together for each specific stop in those journeys. So here's my message for you, my friend, this week. Number one, take some time to delve into the meaning and the relevance and the depth of these 42 stops. Because I love you so much, if you reply to this video, I may even send you the file of 260 pages that I put together, delving into each one of the 42 stops on the journey. But number two, find your courage within yourself to see God within every single stop in your own life. People often tell me, Rabbi, I lost my job. I'm having this health challenge. All these new experiences that I was not expecting just landed on my lap. What is going on? Remember, you have a GPS. God is in charge. Just follow him to where he takes you. And if you feel lost, just plug it back in. Recharge, rejuvenate. And you will remind yourself that whatever happens to you in your life, throughout all the twists and turns, God is with you every single moment. So Shabbat Shalom and have a safe trip.